Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. What we're going to look at today is the classic Haymaker and how to defend against it. For those of you that don't know what the Haymaker is, it's when that guy reaches back into last week and comes across with a punch. And a lot of times that's what you see in an actual fight. We're not talking professionals fighting, we're talking you on the street or you in a bar or just some guy who comes up and wants to throw that big shot and hits you. How do you defend against it? That's what we're going to look at today. So let's get right into it. All right, guys, so what we're looking at today, like I said, defense against the Haymaker. There's a lot of things you can do, and what we're going to do is we're going to look at each one of them, at least a couple of them, and we're going to give the pros and cons of whether you should use them, or in my opinion, whether you shouldn't. All right, so let's get into the first one. When the guy throws the Haymaker, that's that big knockout punch. A lot of people's first response or reaction is to step back, and that's great, okay? You can step back, create space. The problem with stepping back and creating space is you don't always know what's behind you, okay? If you are in a crowded situation, there might be people behind you, there might be a table, chairs, we don't know. There might also be debris on the floor that might make you slip. So you might go to step back and there's no place to step back to. All right, so you know, when you see the fights on TV, when people step back and they do that, they have a lot of room, okay? They're in a controlled environment. We're talking about being in an uncontrolled environment, all right? So in my opinion, stepping back has its uses, but not always. Not to mention the fact that in Wing Chun, we want to be at a close range. And if a guy's throwing a great big punch and I step back, what that's giving him the opportunity is to keep throwing more great big punches at me until one of those connects. Okay, so in that situation, maybe, in my opinion, we don't want to necessarily move back. Do we move side to side? Well, if the guy's throwing these great big looping punches, it might be hard to move from one side to the other, depending on what side he's throwing them at. If a guy throws a right and it's coming to my left side of my face, it's hard for me to move this direction. And if I move this direction, I got to look out for that other one coming, because a lot of guys are just going to start windmilling those punches at you. So moving side to side, not always the best option. In my opinion, we want to move forward. Okay, when that guy throws that great big looping punch, I want to step in. Now, there's a couple things I can do. I can step in and I can jam him up. I can come in and hit his chest and get close and get too close for that punch to actually be effective. But what I like to do is I like to go after the arm that's attacking me, okay? I make that my target. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring Jesse in. I'm gonna actually have him throw some punches at me, and I'm gonna show you the different ways that you can react to them to where it not only hurts your opponent, but keeps you in a safe position. All right, let's get right to it. All right, so Jesse's here. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you a couple different ways that you can respond to the Haymaker. Okay, come on over here real quick. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna come at me with his left hand. Okay, when he comes at me with that big left hand, if I try to move to the side, you see what happens. Now, a lot of times they throw one and then they follow it up with another one, okay? So if he throws this one and I move this way, he can follow it up with another shot. So I need to really be careful. We talked about what happens if I move backwards, but what if I move in, okay? When he comes at me with that punch and I move in with my lan sao, it takes away his balance. Not only that, but his punch was originally targeted back here. I've moved in, I've gotten away from that punch, okay? Remember too, guys, when we do lan sao, it's not a chop. When he comes in with that punch, I'm not chopping him, okay? I'm using the middle of my arm, the middle towards my elbow. That's where the control is at in lan sao. So when he comes at me that punch, boom, I move in. I'm right here, okay? I'm controlling him so that I don't get hit here. This punch right here now, I'm ready for it. And that's just jamming him up. If he come at me with a bear hug, it'd be the same thing. Boom! I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna take away his balance, okay? So that's one option. Now me, I look at it like this. If a guy's throwing a punch at me, he's trying to hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt him, okay? So he throws that same punch, I wanna step in and check that punch. Now I'm being nice right now, I'm catching him here. But if I catch him here, he's coming against my bone, okay? He's gonna do that again. He comes in, I go boom, just like that. It doesn't feel good for him, okay? For me, it's fine. And why is it fine? Because I'm not tensing up my arm. I'm not doing a karate block. If I do a karate block and he comes in and I'm BAM! We're in basically a stalemate position here. Why would I block him when I can hit him? Okay? That's the way I look at it. Now, we turn the lawn sao out. Remember, the lawn sao is an extension of the arm. It's not a chop. I go straight out, focusing on this portion of my arm. I want my arm relaxed, okay? When I tense up, I tense all these muscles, I'm actually hitting him with my muscles. I want to be loose and hit him with my bone, okay? It's kind of like when somebody throws like a thigh kick and you check it with your shin. It's the same concept, but this is with a punch. Now, what do? We put in that extra same hand. So when he comes with that punch, come kind of slow, I'm gonna boom, I can check and I can hit here at the same time. I can use a fist if I want, or I can come up here. He does that again. I can turn into him and hit here. Now I have effectively stopped that haymaker and I've answered with a shot. And believe it or not, that's gonna really be bad for him, okay? But he's probably still gonna throw another punch. So I wanna do the same thing from one side to the next. He throws that punch, I go boom, he comes to the other side, boom, I'm hit him from one to the other side. Landa, landa. Don't ever think that that first punch is gonna end the fight, okay? Even if he doesn't throw that second punch, he just throws that one, I wanna go boom, boom, I still wanna come in and hit him. And I'm still gonna have that lawn up just in case that other fist comes, okay? So that's landa, and that's being loose, attacking his forearms. And that works really well. But let's say that he's a really massive dude. Let's say he's really big, he's really powerful, okay? That may not always work, okay? It may stop him for a moment, but if he's giant and he can crush through me, it's gonna be bad for me, okay? So if I'm against a guy who's really big, then what I wanna do is, if he comes to that punch, I wanna have my lance out here, but my other hand, I wanna check the shoulder, okay? He's gonna do it, looks like this. We go, boom. I check that shoulder, okay? Now, since this is my closest weapon to him, what's followed up was a short elbow. Now, I like to call it an elbow, but don't think you have to hit with the elbow. You can hit with the forearm right there. So if he does this slow, I go boom, boom, just like that. At that point, I can come across and finish, okay? So there's the difference between going up against a guy who's really big and a guy who's your size or even slightly bigger than you. Smaller, not a problem. He throws that punch, you can check it here, check him here. At that point, you can come across and finish it, all right? Go ahead and practice that with your partner.
So now we're gonna take it into a point of view aspect. We're gonna go over the same things that we just went over, only now you're gonna see it from what I see, okay? So Jesse comes at me with that punch. If I don't go anywhere, I eat a punch. If he throws two of them, if I step back, 1, 2, he's coming after me, okay? He's coming after me, so do that again. He throws 1, 2, I have to keep making space. I have to keep backing up. So what I want to do is I want to stop him. So the first one we did was the jam. He comes in, boom. I come in, I stop him using my lawn sao. Okay, at this point, when I step in, I can also hit to the body if I want. Notice too, when you look at my footwork, how I stepped in between his legs. Okay, I'm moving straight forward. That way, when he pushes into me, he can't. It's really difficult for him to push into me. Okay, that's the first one. The second one was the lawn sao. He comes, throws that punch, boom. There's my lawn, there's my attack right there. If you want, you can use a fist. But if you're gonna use a fist, I like to keep my elbow down. Try not to be too Wing Chun about it. Twist it in. Twist it in when you hit. Okay, once again, he throws that punch, boom. Just like that. He comes with another punch, boom. I can stop him right here. I have him off balance. I can knock him over and I can still hit him right here. An ear slap, hit to the jaw. If I hit him in the jaw, it's probably gonna knock him out. Okay, and the other one, for the big guy, let's say he comes with that right hand. I check the shoulder and the bicep and the forearm. At this point, right here, boom, there's my next strike. At this point, I can come back, I can ear slap, I can elbow, I can do all kinds of things right here. So he's a giant guy, he comes at me with that big punch, stop it, right here. Stay nice and relaxed so he runs into that bone. At this point right here, give a little hip twist, bam, right there, right to the face, okay? Practice that with your partner, but be careful.
Hey guys, that was using the lawn sow in defending against a haymaker. Remember, when you use a lawn sow, you're using this portion of your arm, right here. You're not chopping. What I like to tell my students is pretend you have a rubber band attached around your wrist to the center of your chest, and you're extending out. As one movement, you're connecting all of these pieces here and extending out. You're jamming into that individual. And remember, this piece right here is relaxed. We don't want to come in and be hard like this because we're actually being nice to our opponent by giving them that flexed muscle to hit against. We want to hit with that bone, okay? And a lot of times you see people do a lawn sow, you look and you almost looks like their hand is moving back. It's not because their hand is moving back, it's because this is the portion that they're focused on. When we do lawn sow, I'm moving forward here, the hand is actually loose. So it seems like I'm pulling my hand back, but I'm not. It just happens to be traveling slower than my forearm. So one way to practice this without a partner is use your swiveling, okay, and practice extending straight out from the body. When I swivel, when I'm done, my lawn sow, my wrist should be straight out from my body, just like that. So we practice our swiveling. We can practice it with our triangle stepping. We can practice it with our four stepping. Any of the footwork from my fundamental footwork video, you can practice your lawn sow with. I hope this helped you. I hope that you learned a little bit today, and maybe this will help improve your Wing Chun. Thank you.